Welcome back to It Tastes Like Burning. This is Matt.
This is Jesse.
And if you ever feel like reaching out to us, go ahead and find us at ittasteslikeburningcast@gmail.com. You can find us on YouTube at It Tastes Like Burning Cast. You can support us on Patreon and find the links, merch, and bio and all that good stuff down in the comments section or wherever at below the videos.
It's in the description.
That'll work too.
And leave a comment. Like
yes.
if you're on YouTube and you're watching the still image and listening to us bloviate, leave a comment. Tell us we suck. It's fine.
Yeah.
Any comment's a comment.
Yeah. That might be the highest rated comment. Or the only comment.
Yeah.
But all of them. We appreciate them all. So it's been hot. Just a little bit.
It's 100 and Satan's testicles.
Yeah. It's truly terrible here in the great state of Texas, and there's no chance in ever that we will hopefully have a global cooling event or nuclear winter to make this ever end.
Yeah. I think Florida understands what we're talking about.
Well, and probably, I don't know, Liberia.
People in Missoula that think it's hot because it's 91.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, it's so hot. It's 87.
Yeah.
At 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
It was 92 at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And we're having a cool Texas summer.
It's actually unseasonably cool and moist, which is weird. You know, I don't remember a whole lot of these through the decades, some 5 decades worth of being in existence. But there's really not many. It's very odd. Very odd.
Well, I can tell you my dad, his property in Colorado, every morning he wakes up, he looks east and sees a gigantic fire. It's the Lee fire. It's not getting any smaller. I grew up in that area. The terrain that it's in, you're hosed.
Yeah.
Like you're not sending fire crews up those mountainsides because they're, oh hell, probably on average 45 or 50 degree slopes.
Good news is it will rain at some point, and that'll take care of it.
You know, oddly enough, Western Colorado's not known for its rain in August.
Yeah.
Or September. October.
Yeah.
Sometime.
It may take a little while.
But at least it's windy.
It is windy. Yeah.
And that's without the fires.
So you've been out on the road some more?
Oh my God. Yeah. No, I've driven all over hell and back again. I was out in the great, vast, shallowest, endless abyss of West Texas. Good people. I like them.
Yeah.
Terrible scenery. Terrible, terrible scenery.
Well, you know, you're taller than 99% of the trees.
Yeah. I had the very distinct and awesome privilege of visiting. Yeah, we'll call this homework for the podcast. I won't specifically say the department or county, but there's a county in Texas that has two unique, very, very unique distinctions, not only for the United States, but also for the state. The first distinction is that Texas has a county that has 0 incorporated entities in it.
No cities.
No cities. No cities, no townships, nothing. It is all county. Okay? The second distinction of this particular county is that in the 2020 U.S. Census, they carry the distinction of being the lowest populated county in the United States, with a population of 64.
But what's the square miles? Do you know that?
It's either 680 or 690.
So decently sized.
One person per 10 square miles.
Yeah. That's sparsely populated. Is that the word?
That's one word.
Yeah.
Also,
BFE
has a tendency to be a touch on the flat side, and flat like let's see here. Flat like watching your dog run away for a week straight, flat.
Yeah.
But it'd never make it a week because there's no water.
Yeah.
So old Yeller said, "Oh, that's going to be his final trip out."
I had a different flat joke, but
Where
mine needs to be spared.
okay, yeah, yeah. All I can say is thank God there's a lot of oil out there.
Yeah. Well, that's squarely in the Permian Basin. So if you want to know exactly how all that works without any drama from television, go watch Landman. That's exactly how all the Texas oil industry works. Believe that. False.
Yeah, I was going to say no. That is not the case. One, Landman scenery is way too nice.
Yeah, because most of it's in Hood County.
Yeah. And two, it's yeah, that's not how that works.
Fake. Yeah, it's fake.
It appears that the band soap opera is perhaps overextending just a hair,
But it's intriguing.
but not true
Yeah, but not true.
in
It
any
is true.
capacity.
So,
But no, we bouncing around. There's a whole bunch of entities out there in West Texas that are doing some actual pretty cool stuff. I kind of stumbled into a handful of definitely regional powerhouse departments out there. I mean, they're not necessarily big departments.
so let's back up to that. What schedule does that department work that you went to out there in the?
Oh, I think they work.
It's crazy.
I think they work the best schedule on the face of the earth because I've worked this schedule when I was a pilot. They work 2 weeks on and 2 weeks off. So,
And it's 2 weeks, as in like
straight.
every hour of every day for 2 weeks.
Right. Yeah. There's no, oh God, thank God the end of the shift's coming because I'm so tired.
Yeah.
No, you just need to go back to the station and take a nap because you got 10 more days. Yeah. It's but at least it's unrelenting.
It's super interesting. Like you want that ultimate go work and then have a vacation job. That might be it.
Yeah,
right?
well that's what was always appealing to me about a 2 week on, 2 week job because you have a 2 week vacation every month.
Yeah.
Every month you get 2 weeks off.
Yeah. And speaking of aviation, if you had that credential, it wouldn't be bad going there to work.
No. Yeah. They also might, it wouldn't shock me if they never tried to buy a helicopter too. I don't quite know how much money that ESD has, but they could warrant it.
Yeah. To go to the medical.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing is that you they could very easily have hour and a half 2 hour en route times to get on scene.
Yeah.
The big town north of them in the southeast corner of New Mexico, I think, is Carlsbad. So it's basically this department in Carlsbad that cover a huge area, like the size of Connecticut.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty unique stuff.
Awesome. Pretty awesome. So we haven't recorded for a bit. We've been busy. Happens. We've got some stuff we need to get done. Like we've got a guest that we've got to reinvigorate our remote abilities so that we can have a guest again. That's got to happen. But you and I did some traveling here a couple weeks ago where we went to the edge of West Texas. And
we did.
Yeah, we went to, let me pronounce it properly because I was born there. It's Snangelo.
Yes.
Yeah. If anybody says San Angelo, it's either Angelo or Snangelo. there's a lot of letters that are just combined in that. But we bounced off over there, and they had a district meeting for state firemen and fire marshals that actually made Fox News locally. Like they're trying to do the good thing and get stuff going and be better than they are, right?
Right.
Yeah, that important stuff, good stuff. It was pretty awesome to see that because I previously sat on the board for that district. Uh, I was the first VP of that board of that district when I decided it was time to move east and north. Uh, that's that's kind of that's home for me, right? Born born in the area, grew up in the area, lived in the area, like spent 20 years on a department in the area. So it was exciting for me to get to go do that and see them actually moving forward and pushing the needle and trying to get some stuff happening. They're one of the weirdest things, and I had this conversation with them, and Texas is real disconnected. Like it's a long way from here to there, and it's a long way from these other places. And they're having this conversation with me that they're thinking they're the first ones to ever do something, and I'm like, oh no, we've been doing that 10 years.
Right.
And they're like, really? We thought we were the first.
No.
No, not even close. Like we've convinced 20 others to do that in the time in the last 10 years. And
Yeah, and they found great success. You will too find great success. Just keep doing it.
yeah, which was awesome, and it just shows how disconnected that kind of area was, and they need that.
Well,
They need
but
that
again,
district involvement so they can learn those things.
it's part of the where the stupid podcast comes from.
Right.
Is the fact that it's trying to create the network. It's trying to create a opportunity for organizations to share ideas and talk. Uh, on the podcast end, a little slower than I thought it would be, but when we do stumble into people and we do have conversations, they're great conversations.
Well, and the weird thing about the podcast is you get somewhere on the verge of nowhere, and they're like, "Oh, I know that podcast. I listen to that."
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, "Really? Oh yeah, we're trying to do some of the things you talk about." And it's like kind of like uh what is it? Is the highest form of flattery?
Insult?
No,
Oh,
the other way. Copying.
oh,
Uh, uh,
we're getting ourselves
imitation.
situated.
Imitation is the highest
Form of flattery.
Yeah. And but it's good. And you know, if I enjoyed the fact that people get something out of this, it's not like I don't know. I don't even know why we did this, other than somebody needed to do it.
As stupid as that sounds, that's the truth.
And obviously we're complete egomaniacs and self-centered beyond belief. No,
We'd have
no,
to be.
that's not real. No. But yeah, it's somebody had to do it. Somebody had to be the voice of kind of the next steps and then going forward.
I think part of it also is the struggle is real. It's nice to finally find someone else that's whipping themselves with a cat of nine tails and pouring salt on their back.
Yeah.
And to be able to go up to them with an umbrella, get the midday sun off of them, and tell them it's worth it. Keep doing it. It's hard. It sucks. Yes, you're always going to battle 1/3 of your department. Keep doing it. It's fine. And being able to, at the end of the day, build that network of those people. And then, probably even the cooler part of it, And this would be pretty rare for most, uh, to be able to stumble into the next layer of people that are working at the state level that we're working at and trying to, affect and impact change. And then vice versa on that, stumbling into the people that you do know at the state level and going and seeing them at their home departments.
Yeah. I think that most places, and I'm going to be real generalistic, most places don't realize what they have the potential to do.
Oh, yeah.
And
I would also say that they significantly overestimate the time, energy, and effort that it takes to get the ball rolling. It's really not that big of a deal to get the ball rolling. And then once the organization starts to see positive traction, you can also get quite a bit of internal support, as long as you're remotely trying to communicate your message.
yeah. So the other side of that coin, and we
Ah,
were having this conversation earlier, is like, and we believe in what we're doing. And I think anybody that's doing something similar to what we're doing in the social media or the podcast world, they believe in what they're doing, right?
they should.
But I think that some of the stuff that's happening and going on in the training world and the just that world is, they use all these buzzwords and stuff that's like really hard to argue against, and it's really good smart marketing,
Right.
but it's not necessarily like you're trying to kill the conversation before the conversation can happen. And where I'm going with this is, oddly enough, we talked about having a VIS rescue here back a year ago. Well, the and come on, what's the word? The opposite of that happened the other day. And so where we had some people trapped and didn't make the rescue, right?
Well,
And
let's
that's
let's
as
split hairs
hard
on
as
that
that
real quick
is.
though.
Like, we attempted,
Yeah.
we
No,
did
it
stuff.
was still event enter search.
Right. Oh yeah,
They
100%.
they still found
Just
they found victims. The difference is that in this particular case and circumstance,
they didn't live.
the victims, they weren't going to live that event.
And and the sad scary part is that's the norm. That's the norm. What happened 2 years ago in November is not the norm, right? That is not how it normally goes down. This other event, this latest event, is how it normally happens, right? You're doing a recovery, you're doing this stuff, but but certain people, and there's a bunch of them out there that that antagonize the conversation on this stuff, that with words like search culture, right? This made up thing of search culture and and some of these things that really isn't the reality of what we're doing or what you're capable of doing. And then you push it to a rule or semi-rule response, right? Where it's there's great distances covered in that response. In that response, because it's rule, like that's a whole nother realm of like thinking of this, right? You can't you can't take the tactics of brownstone construction in the inner city and transpose that to a rural environment with a 20-minute response time.
Right. Into an area of a different state that has no building codes.
Right.
Okay. Like you can sit there and use all the cliche, super awesome, happy go lucky buzzwords that you want. Okay. And you can try and intermix history and culture and tradition. But
In a
if
trailer house, it
if
doesn't
you
work.
don't interject reality into that discussion and you sit there and you go as far as to get people, your membership, to start buying off on if you don't make the save every single time, you're an abject failure and you should probably go out and delete yourself. That's a bad, 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 bad ideology to be in.
Yeah.
You can't sit there and dictate at what is viable and unviable before the damn call even happens.
And so part of what that discussion is, and the part of it I can't argue against and I agree with, right, is you have to practice and you have to train.
Right.
You have to continually work to be better at what you're doing. I think the narrowing the focus of only becoming better at one piece of the puzzle sells short the other 99.9% of the runs you make. Like you have to train on all aspects to be the most well-rounded firefighter you can be.
I'm gonna give you a perfect example of what we're talking about. So I have a personal pet peeve on a certain thing that I'm seeing make the rounds right now. Okay. And it's directly related to searching, but it's in preparation for the search. Okay. So there is this weird fundamental race about the second that you get off the truck, how fast you can mask up. Okay. And you immediately grab the hose line and you go inside. All right. At face value, and to the point that we're trying to make, I'm going to make an argument that you shouldn't be worried about masking up that fast.
You had 25 minutes to get there.
Okay. I'm sorry. You will never convince me. You will never convince me that the 10 to 15 seconds that I take getting off the truck while taking my time to put the mask on and actually looking at the burning house or burning structure and getting an idea of the conditions that I am going into is not going to benefit me. You are not going to be able to convince me otherwise.
Well,
and what I'm seeing is a really, really, really bad habit right now.
so
Because what they're doing is they're going on scene and it's a damn race to put the mask on as fast as you possibly can. And if you're doing that, where are your eyes the entire time? They're down. They're down the entire time. You stand up, you're looking down for the hose. You start walking, you're looking down while you're spraying water. And while you approach the house, you're looking at the doorknob. You never once looked
Look up.
up.
So-
That is a fundamental flaw in sitting there arguing that you need to be able to mask up in 3 seconds. Because I'm sorry, there's a huge difference in the field of view with your mask on and mask off.
So, good grief, that lit me up, hurt my throat. So, muscle memory plays a part, right? So, if you can do it in that amount of time, do it at the door, right? If you can do it in 2 or 3 seconds, which I think I can, I'm known for getting off the truck and completely dressing on the way to the front door, like coat, pack, the whole 9 yards. Like I can put it all on while I'm walking and looking around, take a knee at the front door, throw the mask on, and bounce off in there. I've done it hundreds of times, right? That's muscle memory. That's me knowing where straps are and where buckles are and how to fasten this, and like I can do it without thinking about it because I've done it hundreds and thousands of times. Train to that. Train to be where it's muscle memory to put your crap on. Train to where it's muscle memory to do things. Like I'm 100% on board for training to muscle memory. I am not on board with throwing situational awareness
Out the door.
out the door.
It just makes no sense.
Like I don't I grew up in the or came up in the risk a little, save a little, risk a lot, save a lot kind of mentality of things, and I can't get past that that's not the right way to do it. Maybe I'm an idiot.
I'd
It's
be
highly
two of us.
possible, right? But as the roof is caving in, I'm not going through the door. I, I'm not.
I don't. Here is the same subject material. I'm sorry. I don't think it's that big of a revelation to expect a firefighter to show up on scene and do their best with their knowledge, crew, and skill level available to them. I don't believe their job's to show up and be a sacrificial lamb for the community.
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
I don't. And I've heard that from like, it's worth dying for if you're trying to save somebody. Well, no. No, because you can take that to the far end of the spectrum, and let's just say that the structure's already collapsed and it's on the ground. Are you going to crawl into the burning debris and just die because there might be a person in there?
No. I mean, you can take it to the opposite end of absurd. If you have a motorcyclist who has a tendency to drive over 200 miles an hour, are you going to get on the bike with them while they're doing 200 miles an hour to tell them they shouldn't do that?
Yeah.
I
Are
mean,
you going to step in front of them to stop them?
right, catch them. I mean, we can be as absurd and as cliche on this as possible. At the end of the day,
Common sense has to prevail.
at the end of the day, it's not a firefighter's job to go die. It is a firefighter's job to train, to be skilled, to be proficient, and to be ready to go.
And if you die doing all of those things, like you've done all those other things, and through the course of the job you die, that's admirable. But to be a sacrificial lamb for the sake of being a sacrificial lamb, that's not it. That's suicide.
I just, like I said, it's a highly contentious point with some people, and I'm not gonna sit there and argue that we need to be training people for their death.
No.
I'm just not.
No, we need to. So I fundamentally look at it like building construction and fire dynamics are the most important. That's the keystone to everything when it comes to structure fires and making decisions, right? We need to make people be able to make good decisions.
Right.
And beyond that, if they make good decisions, we support them in those decisions. Period. End of story.
Yeah, it's real interesting right now to watch fellow volunteer fire departments that are local and abroad to us, and to see the way that the organizations are finding success and then watching whatever popular item pops off on TikTok next, and how that actually either complements or clashes.
Well,
And
it's as gimmicky as the hen, right?
I won't go so far as to say that, but you got to realize that firefighting is a little bit on the old side as far as a career. And realistically, there's been about 5 or 6 major technological advances in firefighting. The first one was the bucket. The second one was the horse.
And the hose.
The third one was the hose. The fourth one was an actual, we go steam boiler and then a mechanical engine. And then the last one,
Air
the
pack.
last three was the advancements in the gear, PPE, the air pack, which was truly revolutionary. And then the very last one's the thermal imager.
Yeah.
So we're talking about an industry that's equivocally had, for a lack of better words, 7 advancements in the entirety of human time.
And speaking of thermometers, I'm totally on board with you should be able to do it without it, right? But
Yes.
you should know how to use the resource until it doesn't work.
But
And then keep going.
here's another factor to that. Okay. If a thermal imager is not viable, not available, broken, whatever, forgotten, there are other things that you can do to affect the viability of that search also.
Right.
There's things like planned venting, vertical ventilation, possibly looking at horizontal ventilation, the use of using a hose line and actually understanding that you can't disrupt the thermal layer. I mean, there's a really advanced part of this that the thermal imager completely cuts out because it's a cheating wood jug.
So one of my favorite techniques, and I've used it time and time again to my advantage, and it's kind of that forgotten thing, right? Hydraulic ventilation.
Sure.
Do you know how much I've been able to push farther, work longer? Man, I got a frog in my throat. But I've gone where people said they couldn't go. I've done things people said they couldn't do because of hydraulic ventilation.
Right. I think there's a huge part of the firefighting service that doesn't actually consider the psychology of being wrapped up in your bunker gear, not being able to see, and having any amount of heat compounded by the way the bunker gear works today, that firefighters are misreading the temperatures in rooms by an exponential factor. And if they would simply just hydraulically ventilate or even just break some windows or open windows up to start actually opening up the getting a ventilation path established in the room. But now, full discretion, we need to be real honest about this. We all know that's a big no-no, because the second you start creating ventilation paths, that's where the fire's going to go. I get that. But if you also are in a tight spot and a damn bad fix, don't be afraid to get your smoke out of the damn room.
Yeah. So
There is a certain point here where you need to actually be able to see what's happening. The other contributing factor to this, and I do agree with this, I do. A major thing that an advanced fire department's going to do, volunteer or paid, is that when they're doing a search and rescue, you don't have to do it with a hose line.
No.
Okay? There's nothing wrong with doing a search and rescue without a hose line. The kicker with that is that technically you have to be equipped, and you have to be physically equipped with the skill level to be able to do such a demanding damn job.
Yeah.
Okay. And quite frankly, you are at the muscle memory portion of that, because if you're not operating at the muscle memory portion of that, that's how you die in a flashover, because
So
you're not paying attention to the fire conditions that are developing around you.
yeah, and goes back to hydraulic ventilation, right? How do
Right.
you stop all that from happening? So I know I've used hydraulic ventilation multiple times in multiple fires to improve conditions where I could do a better job, whether it be searching with a hose line or fire attack or whatever. Like I've done it multiple times. Can't do that with smoothbore. You have to have a fog nozzle to be able to do that. And for
Obviously,
me,
you're not a real firefighter because you're a complete schmuck, because the smoothbore is the only answer to everything.
the ability to do that warrants the fog nozzle. But I know how to do it, right? I learned and trained and figured out how to do it effectively. The other thing that just blows my mind on some of that stuff is just how you have occupants coming out and saying that nobody's in there. You have verification that it's an uninhabited, no one's in there, or everybody's in the front yard. Why do you feel compelled to search a, a,
A vacant building?
a building that is confirmed to be vacant? Like single family residence, two people live there, you talk to both of them in the front yard. Why are you searching it?
I have. I'll tell you the one answer that I got, and I
Because there
just
might be a squatter.
I no, this one's even more incredible. They might have a kid that they're not expecting to be home from college or at a sleepover that snuck in. And it's like, really? Really? Like, okay, I'll tell you what, I'll buy off on it the second you can show me where that actually happened. Don't tell me of a rumor. I want to see the actual NIOSH report on that one.
What if monkeys flew out of my ass?
Right. I just, I don't know. Like I said,
I
we're a pariah with what we're talking about here,
Yeah, we're gonna get
because
nailed in the comments, but it's fact, right? And if you go to the chief of any major department out there that has this, let's just use the buzzword search culture, the chief's like, Jesus, guys, stop this. Like, stop it. Detroit, stop it. Like we can't bury firemen for the sake of burying firemen.
yeah, I
Enough of us die as it is. To die for nothing? I, I mean, I'll take it two steps farther, and I don't give a shit about your dog.
that is a very contentious thing, and the problem is I'm the worst about that. Like, don't get me wrong, I truly believe in lives, property. I truly believe that. Some of the greatest good that we've ever done as a fire department is doing good property conservation. Okay. And I've had legitimate homeowners that have gone through, and a structure fire it's a traumatic event.
Yeah,
Okay. And I've had legitimate interactions with property owners and renters, and where we did good property conservation, and really made an effort to grab the things that we could, that were important, uh, and completely changed the property owner's out view by simply being able to grab a handful of items that were absolutely priceless to them.
yeah,
Um, that I truly believe in that. That said, I don't believe any firefighter should die for Timmy's Xbox.
yeah.
Like,
Our
I
our
don't believe
Ma's
that.
Ma's necklace
Right.
or Fifi.
Now,
I
pets. I'm a bad one on pets.
I'm horrible because I grew up in the country, as did you,
Yeah.
where when Fifi hadn't eaten in a couple days. Fifi doesn't look good. Here's the 22, son. Go fucking
Yeah.
dispatch Fifi.
Because we don't want them to suffer.
Yeah, don't let that thing suffer. Kill it.
Yeah.
And I've been on the other end of that, and as a young child, just putting a bullet into my pet.
Yeah.
So to me, like, I don't know, eh, an animal, pet, whatever, has to have a purpose. Now the purpose could be to purr in your lap, and you love petting it. That's fine. That's the purpose. I don't have a problem with that as the purpose. Like, it doesn't have to be like a cow dog.
Right.
It has to have a purpose, but uh yeah, no.
Flames all the
Mitt,
way through. A roof collapsed, and we
yeah,
need to go in for
for mittens?
for
No.
socks.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Nope. Nope. And I'll tell this story. I was on a structure fire one time. It was actually here. And the people's dog was out of the house. Like, it's out of the house. And it runs past us and runs into the front door of the burning house. Like, it runs into Dante's Inferno. Like, there's fire making swirls. Like, this is not happening. And the roof's falling in, and like the dog runs in there, and the people are yelling, "Go get it!" Nope. Nope. The minute that dog broke that threshold, its fate was sealed, because 1.5 steps past that threshold,
Yeah. Is
it
hell.
died.
Yeah.
It died. It's done. Nothing I'm going to do is going to change that. There's no reason for me to try to affect a change in that, because it's not changing. Like, it's floor to ceiling. I can see it. And Fido decides, oh, this is my break to get away from these people.
Yeah.
I feel for them. It's traumatic. It's horrible. But absolutely nothing I can do for it. Well, Matt, you got anything else? We've tipped the scales on the controversy, right?
Yeah. No, we've about taken this about as far, unless we're going to talk about something else. Uh no, I don't. I truly believe that not only us, not only the departments we haven't met, I truly believe that the volunteers and the combo departments out there, obviously the career departments, they're making a difference. Okay.
Yeah.
I truly believe that. And I truly believe that realistically, at the end of the day, their heart and souls in the protection of their community. But I don't believe in taking mottos and slang and acronyms and using that as the sole guiding light for illuminating the future path.
And oddly enough, where you see a lot of this is places where they haven't lost a brother or sister to line of duty death, or they don't understand what it actually means to the family of that firefighter that dies. Like, I'm in a unique spot, and I've actually experienced quite a few firefighter deaths, and even line of duty deaths, even line of duty suicide, right? So maybe that makes me a little more hesitant. Maybe it makes me a wuss. I don't know. But I know what the effect was on the family on the other end.
Right. I you know, the other part of this discussion, we could go down the rabbit hole just a little bit on this. It's not nearly that long of a discussion. There's nothing wrong with young men and women finding a damn good reason to go accomplish some awesome crap
And be aggressive.
and be aggressive. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I've gotten pretty good at talking about the Gen Z right now. And the people that you see that are all about, training and passion and pride and duty and tradition, uh they truly enjoy what they do. And we shouldn't be running out there with the Baby Seal Club and trying to dampen it down. Okay? We really shouldn't. That said, don't pick sides. Okay? Like, just because someone maybe doesn't quite have the amount of pride that you think they should have doesn't mean that they're garbage or they don't know what they're doing. They just have a different perspective. Take the opportunity to enhance the communication and bridge the generational gap.
Yeah.
Because, quite frankly, a guy that's done this for 35 years, well, you know what? He may not want to train today just strictly because he's that damn sore and hurts.
Amen.
It doesn't make him a piece of crap or useless. And vice versa. If you're the old guy and one of the children comes up to you bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and they want to do a whole bunch of shit that you're not remotely interested in, deal with it. Compromise. You don't need to cover it for 4 hours. You're the one that can go out there and pull out a lawn chair and tell them how to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, at the bare minimum, that just...
You can always use my go-to. I call it old man fuel.
Nicotine.
Ibuprofen.
Oh. Whiskey?
Ibuprofen.
And ibuprofen.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
And nicotine.
Yeah.
Call that the Holy Trinity.
Yeah. A bin of beer.
All right. That said, this is Matt.
This is Jesse.
If you always want to reach out to us at ittasteslikeburningcast@gmail.com, you can find us on YouTube, Patreon, and a handful of other places. Have a good evening.
Yep.